Eating at home is one of the most economical ways to save on food, but that also costs time and money, such as buying groceries and cooking the meals at home. How much does it cost for me to do that in a week? I'm curious too, so in this video we'll find out. In my last video, I did a reaction to a survey that found that most people prefer to work from home because it saves them money by not eating out. For me, I cook lunch almost every day while I work from home, and I can also prepare a box of lunch for my wife to bring to work so that we can share the costs. What you're about to see is how much it takes for me to prepare lunches for the both of us. I follow 5 lunch recipes that are easy to prepare and cooks on its own so that I can work productively at home. Alright guys, right now I'm at Sheng Siong just to grab some groceries of what I need, and I'll also be heading over to NTUC to grab the rest of what I need to cook my lunches this week. First, I'm gonna make a classic roast chicken with couscous, which will absorb the wonderful chicken broth, and I'll add in some capsicum for a nutritious meal. I'll get a pack of cut chicken from NTUC. The chicken has been cut up for us already, so it's really convenient to cook. For this good service, it costs $7.40, which is reasonable. Then I grab a box of couscous for $3.80 and a yellow pepper from Sheng Siong for $1.57. Together, they add up to a total cost of $12.77. To prepare, I need 10 minutes to wash the ingredients and 60 minutes to cook the chicken. First, I preheat the oven to 230 degrees Celsius and set the timer to 60 minutes. Then I marinate it in olive oil, salt and ground pepper, and then place it in the oven until it's done. Meanwhile, I can get my work productively done while the smell of roast chicken fills the air. When it's done, take the lovely golden brown chicken out and separate it and the vegetables from the broth. Pour the broth while hot into a bowl of couscous. Stir it lightly and wait for 2 minutes until it has absorbed the wonderful broth. And we're done! In total, I spent about 10 minutes preparing while it cooks on its own for 60 minutes so that I could do my own stuff. For $12.80 spent, I could prepare a full lunch for myself and a nourishing box of lunch for my wife, Natasha. Okay, so right now I have my lunch right in front of me. I have my couscous, I have my chicken, and I have my roasted capsicum. I mean, this is absolutely delicious. The smell is incredible. It's got this really oily kind of smell, and the couscous is, I mean, just look at how flaky and rich it is. It's kind of like the Western chicken rice, if you can imagine, because this isn't rice per se, but it has absorbed the stock of the chicken and it reminds me of chicken rice. I mean, it's very delicious, right? So I'm just gonna give this a taste. It's very rich, very fragrant. It's almost got this little creaminess to it because I think that's how couscous is supposed to taste like. The capsicum is still a little crunchy, and it has also absorbed the flavor of the chicken stock. Let's give the chicken a taste. It's still juicy in the inside and savory as well, and it's got this really nice brownish color to it that lends a lot of flavor, and that color comes from the oil and the salt to give it a really nice brown in the oven. Absolutely delicious, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. Is one of my favorite lunches that I cooked this week. The next day, I did another classic dish, which is a slow braised pork knuckle. I cook it using my favorite chef's pork knuckle, which I got from NTUC for $12.50. I like the name of it because it makes me feel a little like a chef at home. I also got some carrots for $1.39, potatoes for $1.80, and 2 packs of tofu for $1.80 from Sheng Siong. To make the rich broth, I used this spice mix and followed the free recipe. All these add up to $22.34. To prepare, I just need 10 minutes and it takes 3 hours to cook. I simply wash the pork, season it with dark soy sauce, and put it together with the spice mixes into a boiling pot of water. While it's simmering for 3 hours, I can work very productively on my report because I know that I'm going to have a very delicious meal. But because it takes so long, I start preparing it in the morning before I start to work. And after 3 hours, Just look at that beautiful braised meat. I check it out and use the remaining broth to cook the carrots, potatoes and tofu. While waiting for the vegetables to cook, I carved the pork and separated the skin from the meat. Natasha doesn't like to eat the skin, so I can have it all by myself. I gave her the juicy meat without the fats and packed in the vegetables and tofu for her. So for $20 spent and 15 minutes of preparation and 3 hours of cooking time, I could prepare this comfort food for the both of us and still have some leftover meat and broth which I could use for my next dish. This is one of my favorite dishes. Although it takes a long time to cook, but the long cooking process helps to tenderize the meat and give it such a nice full body flavor and makes the fat just melt in your mouth. And you know, the tofu as well, it's just wonderfully braised with the sauce, and the carrots and the potatoes as well just absorbs the braised sauce, and it's just absolutely delicious. So the next day, I'm going to prepare a stir-fried Chinese noodles using the leftover meat. I will also be using the meat broth to give it a beautifully dark color to the noodles, which will absorb the rich stock. I grabbed a pack of pasta from Sheng for $1.95 and some cabbage for $1.50. To prepare this dish, I need about 30 minutes. It takes a little longer because I have to be present while cooking. First, I put half a packet of pasta into boiling water. It takes about 10 minutes to cook to al dente, the texture that I like. So meanwhile, I wash the vegetables and slice the meat from yesterday into bite sizes. Then I heat up a generous amount of stock in a pan, cook the vegetables and toss in the meat. After the pasta is done, I drained it and tossed it into the pan to simmer for a minute to absorb the rich stock. This amount of pasta used lunch for me and Natasha, and also one box of free lunch for her to take to work tomorrow. For $3.45 and using yesterday's leftovers, it's really affordable and delicious. And I just can't wait to taste it. I mean, just look at the silky smooth pasta that has like absorbed the broth, and it has like this chunky pieces of soft tender pork and the skin as well, and the lettuce. I mean, this is to die for. This is what I call braised noodles because it's using a braised sauce to make the noodles. So let's give it a taste. Pasta is great because it's low in GI and it keeps me full for the whole afternoon, so I can work productively without feeling like falling asleep. I really like pasta because it's lower in GI compared to white rice, so it keeps me full for the whole afternoon and I can work productively without feeling like falling asleep. I mean, it's absolutely delicious. It reminds me of the braised pork that I had yesterday, and there are just some generous chunks of it. So this is one of my favorite noodle dishes that I will cook for lunch. Another classic comfort food is chicken soup, which is full of flavor and it's really easy to prepare. And it also practically cooks on its own because all I need to do is just to prepare the ingredients, throw it all into the pot, and after 40 minutes, voila, it's done. And it's absolutely delicious. I love cooking chicken soup. It's really healthy, and just one chicken can feed the both of us for one day of lunch, so let's go. I start off with another pack of cut chicken from NTUC for $7.40. I'll be making the classic ABC soup with carrots, potatoes and black fungus from Sheng, which I got it for $1.05. To season the soup, I grabbed this packet of instant chicken soup seasoning that cost $3.20, and in total I spent $11.65. I take about 10 minutes to prepare the ingredients, and the soup also cooks on its own for 40 minutes. First off, I rinse the chicken and measure just enough water to cover the chicken and bring it to a boil. I peel and cut the vegetables, then toss in all the ingredients and put in the chicken soup seasoning to simmer it for 40 minutes. Then I could work productively again at home while I'm looking forward to some soulful food. For about $11.65, this used me 2 bowls of chicken soup, and I usually eat the lean parts while I give the tender drumstick and thigh to Natasha.
Oh, it's very fragrant, very nice. It's very soft and tender, right? Juicy, and it has the taste of the soup in it. Yeah. I think it's a very light meal. It's nice. light, refreshing. Yummy.
Another easy to prepare pasta dish is bolognese, which is minced meat pasta in tomato sauce. It is also really easy to prepare. I used the remaining half of my pasta packet and I bought one pasta sauce for $3.95 from NTUC. I also used 2 packets of minced meat for $3.50 each and 2 broccolis for $2 from Sheng Siong to add up to a total of $12.95. To prepare, I need about 30 minutes too. I first prepare the pasta in a boiling pot of water, cut up the broccoli, rinse the minced meat and drain it so that it separates nicely. First, I stir fry the broccoli with olive oil in a hot pan. Then add in the meat and pour in the pasta sauce, season it with salt, some dried spice mix and chili flakes and toss in the pasta when it's done. For $9.45 and about half an hour of effort, this yields lunch for me and Natasha, and again one free box of noodles which I could reheat the next day. Alright, so the pasta dish is done and I'll be giving it a taste. Let's see how it tastes. I mean, look, the color is a little pinkish. It's not like the kind of deep red color that you see in those canned pasta sauce, because this is just pure tomato sauce. It doesn't really have those colorings or flavorings. So I like mine with a bit of mincemeat and a bit of vegetables, you know, just to give it a bit of a crunch. Oops. And let's just give this a taste. Absolutely delicious. It has crunch in every bite and the pasta has absorbed the tomato sauce that has been seasoned nicely with a bit of herbs and a meaty flavor to it. It's a really simple dish that's so simple to put together and it's just so delicious, and it fuels me to give me lots of energy to do work for the rest of the afternoon. So if you don't mind me, let me just indulge. So in total, I spent about $58 on ingredients for a week of lunch for the both of us. That's about $29 for one person, or $5.80 for each lunch in a week. Overall, I think that the costs are about the same for a cheap lunch when I work in office. For me, I would spend about $5 on a tai peng or a burrito, and up to $12 on a lunch set at Marché when I feel like treating myself, because I think that they have the best value for money lunch sets. But while working from home, I haven't even factoring, the cost of condiments, the gas and water, and the time and effort, added up to 1.5 hours of preparation, and maybe even 1 hour more just to wash up everything after cooking. So that's a lot of work. But overall, I can still say that I enjoy the process, and I think that in the long run, it should save me just a bit of money, but more importantly, I get to control what I eat and I can prepare a healthy and wholesome lunch every day for me and my wife. Please let me know what you think about this video in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video.